Anyway, we're going to start this crap now.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome to the panel discussion of the TV movie, and I am here with a vast selection of Yanks for the occasion. I have Jacob Licklider, however the fuck you want to pronounce it.
It's Licklider, and
I don't give a toss.
we are
Brian,
William.
Hello! 02, and Joey Morgan. They all have channels, and they are linked in the description. Hello!
It's actually Alpha Centauri!
Oh, here we
Brian
go.
does
I'm gonna
amusing,
leave this video right now.
Brian does slightly amusing Alpha Centauri impressions on his channel, if you are so inclined to watch them.
Yes.
Although I'll have you know, they were invented on the panel discussion for the Empress of Mars, so I'm going to claim royalties for all the ad revenue you got for those videos. It's my property, Brian.
Yes, we actually found out I could do that impression here.
Yeah, sorry, I don't really bully them. I mean, I kind of do, but not really. It's all friendly, it's all fun and larks. And speaking of bullying, TV movie, that's what we're going to talk about today. And the first thing...
What does that have to do with the bullying?
I don't know.
Quite a lot.
It's bullying the memory of Doctor Who. At least it was the memory of Doctor Who at that point, because there was no New Who.
Well, there was no New Who. So
Okay, very loose connection, but I'll go with it.
And we're going to talk about, the first thing we're going to talk about is the only part of the TV movie worth talking about. It's the Eighth Doctor, Paul McGann.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God.
Oh,
my God.
It's the real Paul McGann?
No, it's the fake Paul McGann.
Where was the fake Paul McGann? If I missed something.
I don't know. Somewhere.
I'm the fake Paul McGann.
No, that sounded a bit like him. Only slightly.
Exactly. Hence the fake Paul McGann.
Exactly, it is the fake Paul McGann. So what do you think of him as the Doctor?
Oh my God, he's the creamiest bastard I've ever met on screen. I haven't met him.
You haven't actually met this man, have you?
No, you need to meet him because you are him.
I love him so much. Oh my God, he's my favorite Doctor. Like, I can't even explain it. Oh my God.
I can't tell if Brian's being serious or just another plot.
Yeah,
I'm
he
being
usually acts
both.
like this is normal behavior, folks.
See, we have this thing called Yank disease.
I'm being serious and silly at the same time.
Joey,
He is
he's
my
just being
favorite
silent.
Doctor.
What?
I was just bullying Joey because the theme of this episode, and indeed this panel discussion, is bullying.
Shut the
fuck
up,
right.
Dylan. Everybody hates you.
Right, are we actually going to talk about Paul McGann then?
We
We probably should. I will offer a bit of intellectual discussion here. So I actually really like his performance in this. It's still throughout all the Big Finish audios I've listened to with him, I think this is still one of his best performances, and not strictly because it's him in action. I still just really like what he does.
You see, I disagree there. I think
So do I.
he actually does much better acting in Big Finish, but this is a much more enjoyable performance because he's not just a voice actor, he's a physical actor as well. So you get a lot more out of actually seeing it.
That's fair. I think it is a really good overall first Doctor, first story for a Doctor, and he really does sell it well in this story.
Well, I mean, he sells the fuck out of it because there's absolutely nothing in the script that really makes him special. It's Paul McGann who makes the Doctor special in this episode.
I think there is a bit of something special, and this ties into Big Finish too. Throughout the television movie, he isn't quite the Doctor yet because of course he's just regenerated and he's going through all that trauma shit.
But Brian, hang on, wait, Brian, who is he though?
So through most of he hasn't found himself yet, man.
And just to do a bit of retrospective thing about this episode, retrospective annoyance about this episode. Christ, how many times does Paul McGann have to lose his memory? And this started it. This episode started it. So we
and then the first thing to feature him after this, which was the Eight Doctors, continued it.
And
It's just a
then
never-ending
the first
cycle.
season of the Eighth Doctor Adventures by Big Finish, Menuet in Hell, that had a movie.
He forgets his
something
memory.
inside. He forgets his memory and something inside.
Oh,
And
dear.
Zagreus.
And
I'm
Zagreus.
pretty sure there's another.
Either
book
he
as
loses
well.
his memory or something changes his personality. That's just the running theme.
Yeah, it's just a really shit trope. Like it's done so much you can't even parody it. It's just that depressing.
But yeah, I think the main reason I don't like his performance in this story compared to his other ones is because he's a bit all over the place because of the way the character is written.
I mean,
yeah, I think I prefer.
He's not
just when
at this point. He isn't the Eighth Doctor I know and love yet.
But in the future, he still
I mean-
looks young, but his voice is, toughened a little bit, and I think that works much better with the character.
Yeah.
I mean, he
That's
is written as a very generic, doctor in this, but as Dylan said, Paul himself really does sell the performance.
It's certainly not Matthew Jacobs. Paul McGann
Yeah.
is the Doctor, and I
Yeah,
mean that
definitely.
literally. He's the only person who's really put any thought into it. Although I will give them credit, they were going to get an American actor, but the people who were making it convinced Fox to get a British actor. So
it's funny. That's why we had. It's because they got a British actor. It's why we had.
Eric Roberts, which let's use that
Ooh.
as a very convenient segue into Eric Roberts as the Master.
Oh, you
Can I-
mean
can
the best master of all
I
time?
mean, I always dream.
Hold on, can I just
The
throw out a
Asian
Could I
child.
just throw? Hold on. Could I just throw out a bit of trivia here? So before Eric Roberts was cast, David Bowie was going to be the Master.
Oh,
Just
that would have been
just-
cool.
Just imagine that Paul McGann versus David Bowie.
I honestly think
What?
I would have enjoyed that far more than Eric Roberts.
And just to throw out a bit of extra.
wait. So they did Eric Roberts because he's a name actor from America. But this was like
feel like-
after the film Labyrinth, right? David Bowie was big, and
If they were going for star power, then David Bowie would have been the better decision there.
I think they just we're thinking us dumb Yanks need a Yank in it, or else.
I think
Yeah, pretty much.
David Bowie just saw the script and was like, "Fuck that."
Now, just to throw in a bit of extra trivia, John Nathan Turner wanted to get David Bowie to play Sharaz Jek in The Caves of Androzani.
It was
Actually,
actually
I
That's
just
cool.
got the Caves of Androzani, and I saw that. It's amazing how much David Bowie almost got involved with the show, but just never did.
And he never can.
This
now,
could never.
Oh, he's dead.
But anyway, this is not about David Bowie. This is about Eric Roberts.
But
The
David
fan-
Bowie
the
is much
fantastic
more
master.
interesting than Eric Roberts, so we should just.
But does David Bowie even dress for the occasion, though?
No, he doesn't.
I'll
sake.
give Eric Roberts a little bit of credit. There's some moments where he kind of works as the Master, but then when he just goes full cheese and full ham towards the end, and the bit which really got me the most is the bit where Paul McGann's like, "Give me your hand," and he says no. Like he'd rather die than be saved by the Doctor. Like that's the most cheesy fucking thing.
Or how about his first line as the Master? My name is not Honey.
Which
He doesn't-
I'm sorry. I don't think the writers understand. I don't think any writer past the serial survival on television at least understands who the Master is.
Yeah.
Like, I get it, he's an alien, but he can be charming, and he would understand that you think he would understand. Oh, this person's calling me honey. This person who I woke up in bed next to is calling me honey. Maybe, I don't know, we have a relationship or something.
Or maybe I could use her.
That too.
Right, well, another thing I have to say about Eric Roberts, well, not just Eric Roberts, just the Master in this in general, is why do they never explain why all of a sudden he can turn into a giant sperm monster and go down people's throats?
You mean the
They-
Morphoton Deathworm?
Yes, I
always-
do mean the Morphoton Deathworm, and I know everybody's going to be saying it in the comments, it is explained in the expanded universe, but that's retroactively.
Well, no,
We're
I
talking
just
about
like
the
that
time,
it's
like
better.
when it was
That
just
gets
randomly
ex-
thrown into the script.
Hold on,
When
hold on.
there was
hold
no
on.
explanation whatsoever.
Yeah.
there's an explanation in the expanded universe. Don't tell me what it is first, because I've always thought it was just the Daleks did some genetic splicing and shit.
But
to
why?
them.
They wanted them.
I don't even understand the explanation in the expanded universe, to be honest.
What is the
Like-
explanation?
I actually forgot.
Something to do with
it was
the
in
cheetah
Mastermind.
virus?
Yeah, it was in Mastermind. I'm pretty sure when they explained.
Yeah.
It had. It
Mastermind.
was
Well, I haven't
because
heard
of
that
the
never
cheetah
again.
virus.
I think something to do with the cheetah virus.
Either
'Cause-
way, it's just. Yeah.
That's so
It-
random, like,
it
because there's that
looks-
whole chunk of timeline there.
It
with the
looks
Trochanite
stupid.
body.
They don't
Like,
explain it, and it
Yeah.
just doesn't work. I mean, I can just imagine people watching this for the first time being like, "What the fuck am I watching?" Like, I'm talking people because obviously this was meant to introduce it to the mainstream in America rather than just dedicated sci-fi fans. And people are just like, "What the fuck is this show?" Because it never really explains what's going on or what Doctor Who is. It just kind of expects you to work it out, which is pretty
Shit
poor.
just
Well,
considering
no,
it's
it
meant to be a
does
pilot.
explain it. It explains bits of Doctor Who lore through really bad exposition.
Yeah, but the exposition doesn't even expositionize. I don't know. What's the
Hence
there's-
why it's
singular for
really
that?
bad exposition.
There's this. There's this
It doesn't do it that
exposition.
well.
Hold on. There's this exposition dump scene that really bothers me. It's
Exposits?
like
Yes, I think it's exposits.
Yeah.
It doesn't exposit
Exposition.
very well.
exposition dump that really bothers me. It's just Paul McGann. He gets this sudden pang of pain because the Masters opened the Eye of Harmony or something, and he
because
just
he's half human.
he
on
just
his
starts he just starts spewing shit about Gallifrey and the Masters' backstory, and Grace is just like, what the fuck?
It was weird that like,
It's
it's not even
ridiculous.
presented in a way where like new viewers will be able to catch on to it as fast.
Something master, something master.
Pretty much though.
Like
Like the
make you
viewer
think
would
the
just,
Masters
new
like the
viewers would
Doctor's
catch on
boyfriend or something.
new viewers would catch on just as easily as Grace did.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But yeah, I think considering it's meant to be a pilot for the show, it does a really bad job at that. And then you think of it as a story, which let's just move on to the story now, since there's not really that much to say about Eric Roberts. It's just
Except that
it's
he
not an
can't.
interesting story. It's meant to be an introductory story, but then it doesn't work as an introductory story, which just means it doesn't work on any level, apart from the fact that it's a bit camp and a bit fun.
Well,
I
you're
think the
not
fact that
wrong
it's fun
there.
is like the only thing that makes me enjoy it. It's just it's so much fun to watch.
I wouldn't say it's so much fun to watch, but like, you know, every couple of years you're like, you know what, I'll stick on the TV movie because I just want to see images on a screen, just have it go through one ear and come out the other. And
I'll
just
just-
waste
unless
an
you
hour
watch
and a
the-
half of my life.
Unless you're
Unless-
like me and you're like, I'll just stick on the TV movie because I fucking hate myself.
You know, Brian.
Unless you
just
actually
watch it
wanna
so
have-
you can pull yourself off to Paul McGann, Brian.
Unless you kind of actually want to enjoy it, you could throw in like the commentary with McCoy and McGann, where McCoy just like kind of rips into the movie with like all the random plot mistakes and continuity issues.
Yeah, it's pretty stupid.
It's pretty funny considering
Can I?
in commentaries we can have a commentary that defends Time Lash for all its faults.
Is there a reason why the Doctor's been the Master's been put on trial on Skaro?
No,
Just for some reason, the
No,
Time Lords
it
and
literally
the Daleks
just
decided they had enough of
happens.
them. I mean, I suppose the Master.
The
did
Daleks
they
are
did-
still pissed with him after Day of the Daleks.
No, I was talking Frontier
he
in
wasn't
Space.
even in Day of the Daleks.
No, Frontier in Space. Like, he kind of was planning
not-
to screw them over.
Oh shit! Not
Wait,
Day of the
Wait,
Daleks.
wait
yeah.
a minute.
Frontier
Wait a minute.
in Space.
What if this is what if Eric Roberts is secretly Roger Delgado's master? Like that's what they were going for.
No, he was actually Gordon Tipple before he became Eric Roberts. I'll have you know.
Who's Gordon Tipple?
He's the guy at the beginning who stands in the machine and gets killed.
Oh,
I
such
believe there was actually.
Which
Still a
I don't
better
get why they
master
needed a separate actor for that, just to throw a random guy in there.
still a better master portrayal than Missy.
I believe Tipple actually did some voiceovers for the original unused intro too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He
wanna see
might
that
have.
It's actually a voiceover of him making his final request, and then, of course, the Doctor Who intro exploding.
Oh, that's actually kind of cool. I want to see that.
Yeah, is it like, does it still exist, or did they throw it away?
The recording itself still exists. I believe Cloister Productions used it in his intro that recreated the TV
Ah, okay,
movie.
I'll give that a watch then. That's interesting. You see, you've learned something today. This is an educational channel.
I was going to say, this is an educational program so far as Gordon Tipple is a good version of the Master. Well,
Well, that's
better
real
than Missy.
education, real facts here on the Lord's
Better than
Panel
Eric
discussion.
Roberts, and he's barely in the fucking film.
Is there anything else to say about the plot then?
No, it's all over the place. And
there isn't
we
really
can
one.
actually go into depth, because there's
There's
a lot
nothing
of
to it though.
a
It's just-
beryllium clock.
it's just
Yeah.
a lot of
Oh,
exposition and
there's so,
science
I forgot to say
mumbo
about
jumble
this.
that
There's so
nobody
many
gives a shit about.
coincidences in this. Like, Paul McGann just happens to be treated by a doctor who just happens to be on a board for this beryllium clock, which just happens to be the only thing that can close the Eye of Harmony. That's one of too
Because-
many coincidences for my book. It's never really explained why that's going to do anything. It's just, oh, it's clocks. The clocks, please.
I feel like it's just not restricted to this story alone.
We
though.
need
It
to
happens
get
in a
that
lot of Doctor Who
clock.
stories.
Well, yeah, but in this one it's particularly glaring. It's very noticeable.
Yeah, it is very
Especially with a line when she's going into the big party.
Something
It's
about
like-
the eye and the master opening the eye.
No, it's like that line when they walk into the beryllium clock place, and Grace's like, "Ooh, this is the first time being on this board. It's done any good for me," even though she's never really said anything about it before, other than in the ambulance.
Has she even mentioned being on a board of directors?
Yeah,
of...
no, she mentioned it in the ambulance when he's like, "Oh, where can I get a beryllium clock?" He's like, "Oh yeah, I'm on the board." Like, it kind of doesn't sound like she's being serious as well.
I'm sorry, was that your American accent?
It was
I was just about to ask the
slapdash
same
American
thing.
accent. It wasn't my best attempt. Not that I'd care to, because your accent's
Specifically,
shit
it's
anyway.
great.
Well, hold on, no, Dylan. I've heard your American accent before. That was actually better than what you usually do.
Yeah, well, fuck you too. This is bullying. This is more bullying by Ryan.
See, it all comes full circle.
It does come full circle. Jacob's the only one who hasn't been really bullied yet.
That's because
Uh,
Jacob's just a good person, unlike the rest of us.
No. I don't
He gets
get bullied
enough. He
online.
gets
I get
enough from
bullied.
his teachers at college. But
Yeah.
let's not go into that. Right, so what to talk about next? Oh yes, Grace. What do you think about Grace?
Daphne
She
Ashbrook's
exists.
a great actress, but the character doesn't. Well,
Well, the character doesn't really
She's-
have anything to it, but Daphne
I like to
Ashbrook's
call
just...
her prototype Rose because it's basically what she is.
The character is not one of my favorites.
Well, I don't
That's
actually
for sure.
mind the character.
feel like
but I
she-
think that's almost entirely down to the fact that Daphne Ashbrook is a very good actor. Like, managed to just kind of
Yeah.
sell it. Just
I
be
feel
likable
like-
because she's Daphne Ashbrook.
I feel like there's more to her character if there wasn't a rights problem and she could be expanded upon more in the expanded
Yeah,
universe.
fuck you, Fox. Give us the rights. You're
Yeah.
never going to use these two characters again.
Exactly.
They're Fox. They've already screwed over Star Wars by
Fantastic
letting
Four.
The new Doctor Who spin-off, Grace and Chang Li.
Lee. What are they? Private investigators?
Oh no, don't give me the idea. I actually kind of
Like-
I actually kind of like Chang Li as well, but again, I think that's entirely down to Yi
if
Ji.
we're gonna have a private investigators show about Doctor Who, we need it to be about Frobisher and that space centipede from.
But we already have
that
on it.
Morbius
You've got
two-parter.
13 seasons of Jago and Lightfoot.
And they are all excellent.
I've only heard the first series. I haven't.
You know, they're
bothered
This
to-
is
only heard,
not.
like, the
No,
first-
this is not a Jago and Lightfoot panel discussion. I'm putting my foot down here. We're not talking about Jago and Lightfoot, okay?
Fine,
Dylan,
that's all we'll talk about afterward.
Yes. Dylan, when have you put your foot down and it actually works?
Most of the time, I'll crush you like insects.
What are you, the master?
Of this panel discussion, I am.
We obey Dylan.
I don't start
Shut
that
up,
again.
Brian.
That's his impression of a sex droid, by the way.
Wait, he's not a sex droid?
Oh,
I'm not a sex droid?
What? Well, you couldn't use
This
him as
is
a
news
sex
to me.
droid, Jacob, because he'd be underage.
Oh, yes, I know.
No, I saw your beady little eyes there, Jacob. Just calm down.
I will have you know, one of these eyes is not a real eye.
Oh, is that how you get away with it? Just, like, look at them with your real eye, then say, oh, I've got a glass eye. I wasn't really looking at your arse.
Talk about derailing the conversation.
Yeah,
Where were we?
okay.
Oh yeah, Grace exists.
Oh, right, she exists. She's a character.
Yeah, so
What
basically,
is she
I think what all of our thoughts are is both the characters of Grace and, what is he called, Chang Li, aren't very good, but the actors are so good
Okay,
it kind of makes them likable.
we barely talked about the amazing character that is Chang Li.
This is
Yeah,
the
but that's
shit-
it's exactly the same thing.
We
as
need to
Grace.
take at least a 10-minute segment to talk about the Asian child.
The Asian child.
This is the shittest panel discussion I've ever been.
And it's your fault, Jacob.
How is it my
See, there
fault?
we go. Now Jacob is being bullied. It's all come full circle.
What even is this?
Well, it's obviously the best panel discussion because I've never heard Jacob laugh this much.
Let's just say today's been a day.
Oh man.
Today exists about as much as Grace.
What?
What?
She,
That-
doesn't- she exists as a fictional character. How could you deny that?
No, just the fact that she's there. It's just a thing that exists.
Oh, is that how you think about all women, Joey? You sexist.
Oh my
Holy shit.
Oh, wait, he's not at a U.S. college campus yet. Please
Oh.
give him a break until that happens.
Nobody gets a break in my book.
Never. Never, ever. Never.
Yeah, never say
No.
book that
Not
way
when we're
again.
under the iron fist of Daddy Dylan.
Book.
Book.
Yes, because I actually speak our language like it's supposed to be spoken, unlike in your shit way.
What? Bok is book?
No, I said book.
Okay.
You can say book, you can say book, but at least I don't have an American accent. Alright, okay. Is there anything else to talk about with the TV movie, actually? I suppose we can talk about how it looks. Apparently the budget for it was $5 million.
Bullshit. I call
Wow, they
bullshit.
probably did not make that back at all.
Well, for a TV movie, that's not a bad budget.
Yeah, but consider
Yeah.
most Doctor episodes are probably made on like 100,000 or something. I don't know. I'm not an expert. I'll have to look that up actually. How much the average classical episode
Yeah.
is made on? But
Most
obviously,
Doctor
inflation. shit,
episodes
whatever.
aren't made on that much, and yet
Although,
this
honestly,
still
it-
manages
other
to look
than
like shit.
How beautiful the TARDIS set looks. I don't know where all the money went.
It probably all went toward the TARDIS set.
Yeah, I mean the TARDIS set
And paying-
is absolutely
And paying the
beautiful.
actors, that's an
That's true.
American thing of paying the actors a lot more than they're probably worth.
Yeah, in
Cough,
Britain,
cough, Adam
actors are all
Sandler,
poor
cough,
people.
cough.
What are we coughing?
Adam Sandler,
Adam
apparently,
Sandler.
but we're not allowed to bring up such cretins on this panel. No, I don't actually have a problem. Well, I do, but I don't really. I have no opinion on the man.
I like how you said we're not allowed to bring him up, but you're the one who actually brought him up.
No, it was actually Jacob who brought him up, Joey. You arse.
It wasn't even fucking Jacob.
It was Brian.
But Jacob, Brian, you all sound the same to me.
That's like saying you and Harry sound the same. You
We
don't.
don't sound the same. And I'm just joking as well. I do actually.
Anyway, can we get back on track here? Because
No.
Never.
Well, there's nothing really get back on track to. We've just
Yeah, the TV
we-
movies just.
a thing that exists.
Yeah, there's not
Like
much
Joey.
to it. It's a bit.
What about
the most
what's
interesting
it-
part is just what the concept
The
of it.
most
rather
interesting
than-
part is that's the retinal pattern of a human eye.
No, we're not discussing that because that didn't happen. We've
It did
all
happen.
agreed that's
is
not
half
canon.
human.
The Doctor is
No,
not
I
half
agree.
human. That did
No,
not happen. And
I-
we all agreed that did not happen. It is not a
No,
thing that happened.
I didn't.
We all agree.
Shut up,
Brian,
Brian.
We all agreed to this.
We
No,
all
the
agreed
Doctor's not
as a
half human.
fandom. As a
However-
fandom, it didn't.
However, in a crazy world where that did happen, what did we think?
Fucking cancerous.
Exactly.
Did happen.
I mean, only Americans could say something so ridiculous and stupid.
The screenwriter was British.
Well, only a British writer
Paul
indoctrinated
McGann
by
was
your
the first one to say
American
it.
ways could have done such a thing.
He lived in Britain for most of his life. He was only in America to see the filming of this film.
Come on, I bet you a pretty penny. He didn't put that in the script. Fox told him to.
Actually, no.
doubt-
It was the British producer Philip Segal who wanted it because the whole idea of what the show was
Indoctrinated by
going
your
to be.
American ways. I'll have you.
They started
No.
writing it before they even went to Fox.
Yeah, they started writing before they went to America.
Right,
He
well-
originally pitched the Legally Bible to the BBC. They said it was dumb. So then he decided, well, maybe the Americans will buy this shit.
Well, and you know the BBC were right. And you see, the thing is, wouldn't have happened before your culture tried to Americanize Britain.
Oh,
You
but
see,
I
the reason
like
why
the
they went to American
half-human
so
idea.
suddenly is because they were more American than British, really. Indoctrinated by you. So I still blame you.
It's a guilty pleasure of mine, the half-human thing.
It didn't happen, Brian. What are you talking
Exactly.
about?
happen.
What half-human thing are you talking about?
Okay.
Anyway, I think we should go to our final thoughts on the story before we start killing each other.
Wait, we haven't already started killing each other?
Well,
Oh, we were
Simon,
doing
this
that
I
as
think it
well.
started
okay.
the-
Before we start
Start.
murdering each other, then Jacob, are you happy?
Murder equals killing.
Oh, so you're saying that every
my-
time somebody's killed, it's a murder?
Yes! To be killed is pretty much to be murdered.
Why
That's-
I get killed
that's
in a
not
car
true.
crash? It's not really a murder, is it?
That's like saying euthanizing a cat is murder.
Do you just say cats are people, Brian?
I think he did.
I said no.
I knew you liked
People
those
too.
Warriors books, but I didn't
That's
think
right.
you were that crazy
No,
about cats.
no, that's not what I said.
It is
Yes, it is.
exactly what you said,
It
I
was
Brian.
said
And you
I
will
said-
never live this down.
You won't. Dylan, make sure you keep this little bit in here, just so we can have the
Of
world.
course, of
The
course.
world can know Brian likes cats as much as he likes
And the
people.
world can also know what Brian's final
Okay.
thoughts on the TV movie are and his score out of 10.
Wow, Segway game strong.
my score out of 10.
Yeah.
Probably
Christ,
like
it
a
shouldn't be
2.
that difficult.
Shouldn't be that
It's not like legally binding. I'm not going to ask you to come to Doctor Who court and like say, and you gave the TV movie a 5 out of 10, and that is inaccurate because you should have actually gave it a 6 out of 10.
If we're going
Probably.
to take people to court, can we please take
Joey.
Why me?
Brian,
Because
give
he's
me a
placed-
goddamn score.
I did already. I said 2, motherfucker.
Wow, that's harsh.
Yeah, at least it looks pretty. Seriously, Brian, are you having anger issues?
He is having anger.
Yes.
Go on, Jacob.
I'm still infuriated by the fact that Joey put Warriors of the Deep over Earthshock.
That's true. That is pretty stupid.
Wait a minute.
Joey-
Hold
Joey
on.
likes
Can we
Warriors
take
of
Joey?
the
Wow, what a discussion for another day. Jacob, your final thoughts.
Okay, right. We'll stop talking about Joey if you promise me that you're going to come on my channel and you're going to defend your love for Warriors of the Deep.
Yeah, and I'll
I'll
be
do
the
it
moderator.
too.
I'll be the
I
No,
love
unbiased
Warriors of the
I'm being the moderator. Because I can't be
Dylan,
arsed.
I love Warriors of the Deep more than Brian. You'd be better off bringing me on.
Now, that's what I said. You, Joey,
I
not
think I
Brian.
said Brian did. Oh, okay, fine. I'll come up. Whatever.
Yeah, there we go. Go on.
Anyway,
Go on.
anyway,
Graham.
I give it a 5 out of 10 because it looks pretty. Paul McGann's good. The acting's nice. It's just a shit script.
Go on then. Joe.
I agree with that. I say 6 probably. I think I enjoyed it a lot more than most, but other than that, my views are pretty similar to Jacob's.
Well, my subjective score is a 6 because it looks pretty. There's some great acting in it. I mean, like, actually, surprisingly, really, really good acting. But the
And here comes
itself,
Dylan. Oh, subjectively, it's this.
But the script is just an absolute abomination. And really, if you look at it from any objective level, it's shit. So my objective score is a 2 out of 10 because it is just a pile of crap.
It's subjectively 6 out of 10, but objectively it's probably 3 out of 10.
That is true, Brian. It seems
Brian!
that having nuance in this day and age is a mockable offence.
It is. Murder everybody who's not like me.
You heard it
That
here
is-
first, folks. Jacob, the white supremacist Licklider, wants everybody dead who's not like him.
How did you hear that middle name? Who told you?
A teacher from your college. Anyway, look, let's not get into that.
Okay.
You're the one who keeps bringing it up!
Yeah, well, it's like in Fawlty Towers when he says, don't mention the war, then mentions the war. It's for comedic effect, Brian. Do you not understand how these things work?
He's never seen Faulty Towers.
Exactly,
think.
and that's how much of a Yankee he is. It's only one of the best TV programs ever made. Don't worry.
Yeah, well, so is Blackadder. What's your point?
Blackadder is also one of the best TV programs ever made.
I haven't seen Blackadder,
Then
mainly
you're
because they
scum.
took it off.
Anyway, so that's all for now, and I'll see you all back next time with another video.